In continuing our discussion on flow, I really want to talk about a high flow life. What's the value of it? We spoke a little bit earlier this week about what flow requires, but I thought it would be good to talk about why you just want a high flow life in general. The first, as a writer, is that high flow lifestyles produce increased creativity. If you find yourself falling into writer's block a lot, you probably need more flow. If you find that you sort of get good ideas and then sort of just peter out and they sort of trail off into nothingness, you need more flow. If you're ever faced with a problem and you feel like you can't come up with good creative solutions, you need more flow. Flow is this state where our brain is making connections in an optimal way. And that means that you will never be more creative than when you are in flow. So learning to spend higher periods of time in flow and to trigger the flow state more often is just going to be better for you. Everybody could use a little bit more creativity in their life, and flow is the best way to get there. And specifically, that's because the chemicals in your brain that create creativity appear more often during flow. On top of that, the flow state reduces stress. Well, that's not entirely true. It reduces bad stress while increasing good stress. Did you know that there are different kinds of stress? Our ability to problem solve, our ability to make connections is higher when our body is under specific kinds of stress. And flow is what produces that positive stress. This is also the reason, though, that you can't spend all of your time in a flow state, because your body does need to relax and come down from that sort of heightened state. But just as flow produces good stress, it also decreases bad stress. And part of the reason for that is because it focuses our attention on solvable problems. Second of all, it allows us to come up with solutions to problems that we thought were unsolvable. And furthermore, it just increases the amount of positive mood-boosting chemicals in your body. And so you're just under less stress. Obviously, flow doesn't change your situation, but it often leads to action that leads to changing your situation. Speaking of that focused attention, that's another reason that you really want a high flow lifestyle. Higher states of flow universally equate to better performance. If you see somebody who is really, really good at something and like a absolutely peak performer, it is guaranteed that they are in flow more often than somebody whose performance is subpar. If you want to increase your performance in anything, but specifically, if you want to increase your performance as a writer, high flow states are a requirement. The more you can generate flow, the more you can produce, and the better what you produce will be. I don't make the rules on this stuff. I'm just reporting it to you. Finally, and I think that this is a really important capstone to all of this, people who have high flow lifestyles are happier. Again, this is not a debatable fact. People with high flow lifestyles report higher happiness across the board. Now, there are a number of different reasons for this, but the clearest and most observable one is that these people have dialed their life in to what they really enjoy doing. Flow is something that appears when we are enjoying the challenge of what we're doing and also making good progress. And if you can live in that place of enjoying the moments of your life while also making progress towards your clear goals, that is a human's happiest state. So as writers, I think it's important to recognize that we don't have to be the tortured artist. We don't have to struggle with our writing. We don't need drugs. Our brain produces plenty of them. We don't need tumultuous relationships. We can get our stimulation and challenge from the tasks we do. And the way to do it is through a high flow lifestyle.